Let's talk about dating and OF and the exchanges that you make for worldly finances. I started doing OF 3 years ago and I made great money. But I think that with everything that isn't of the light, it's an exchange. Meaning, I started making a lot of revenue, but my personal life, my relationships with men, those were very strained. And it was an extremely dark time. I met a lot of people, they would want to sleep with me, but they never would want to claim me as their girlfriends or anything further than that. A lot of men would tell me that they think that me doing OF was the biggest mistake that I ever made. And I was trying to explain to them that one day I have a feeling that this is going to be a part of my story and my testimony. Regardless, they never could see past it and it never really worked out. I've been single for 4 years now and it has been a very tough 4 years, a very lonely 4 years. The last man that I spoke to was super well off, came from a really, really religious Catholic family. And I was honest with him from the beginning with what I did. I said, this is my life. This is the decision that I've made. Take it or leave it. This is like I come to you and I'm being 100% transparent. And even though I was honest with him, he wasn't honest with his family. And that really bothered me because it was like, okay, eventually when I'm going to talk about this, I need you and your family to understand and support me when I open up about my testimony. And that individual was like, no, I don't know why you would ever open up about that. I don't know why you would ever talk about it. It's something that you should be ashamed of. It's something that you should sweep under the rug. Who is telling you to do this? Yada, yada, yada. One thing that I realized is if my testimony can help other broken people, then that makes my heart fulfilled. Sometimes you do things and you go through things in life because it makes you more qualified to speak about it. I'm able to connect with people that have been molested. I'm able to connect with people that have been taken advantage of and have been through sexual abuse their entire life. And I'm able to show them and speak unconditional love and positivity to those people to help them change. And I think that a lot of people miss the point that we need unconditional love to change. That's how you change as a person. If you want someone to change, you love them to change. And that's what I'm trying to do.
He's not a Christian!
Okay, ladies, real quick. I'm just curious. Again, I'm not here to judge. I've definitely gone out with girls who are on OnlyFans. The difference is, my rule is, if you're having sex on OnlyFans, I'm not interested in seeing someone seriously like that. I don't think you guys think that would be too ridiculous, right?
No, I
Okay.
think everyone has their own
Yes.
standards, and that's where it comes into play. And it's not even just women who don't do OnlyFans.
Christina, have you had any challenges with dating?
I think a lot of men they stigmatize OnlyFans. You're just a whore. Me personally, I don't do I don't have sex with men on my OnlyFans. I just sell pictures of myself, videos of myself.
Yeah.
But
I think that is a massive distinction that gets lost. I do, because a lot of girls are like putting bikini photos that they have on IG on their OF, and they're making a bunch of money. So anyway, go ahead.
there's some men that are like, well, I don't want to be with a girl that's exchanging energies with men. And I'm like, it's not like that. You know what I mean? They see you as like you're a stripper in a strip club actually getting touched by men when it's not like that. And so it's like double standards almost.
And even then, even if you are
Talking to the mic.
even if you are a stripper, it's all about boundaries and being able to establish them with yourself and your partner. And a lot of people get it misconstrued and aren't able to handle it because they aren't honest with themselves. And a lot of women are honest with what they're comfortable with. And then, when I was drinking and whatnot, like I would then be more promiscuous. And honestly, that's not really what I wanted to do, but it was how I was able to socialize and do, what everyone else was doing and their expectations. But then when I got sober and I was like, oh, actually, like I'm a very sexual person with myself. Like I can make myself in like 2 seconds, like so easily. And when I was like, oh, okay, like I know, like I really don't need a man, but I love being with someone I can collaborate with. It just makes everything easier with your life.
I'm sorry, you mean collaborate in a relationship?
In a relationship.
So not a stunt
But
dick. Yeah, okay.
if a woman did hit me up, but that's
It's nasty.
If a woman wants to collab, I would be down.
And what
But
do you
you're
mean
not
by
like that
hey,
girl that's trying to
hit me
date
up
a
later.
Catholic guy.
What do you mean by
Sir, my
collab? I'm really
sister.
curious.
With a man, she was talking about a relationship. With a woman, she's talking about girl on girl sex.
What you mean, like having sex? Like on
Yeah.
your own? Is that what you mean?
Probably not on only. But like if they want to do like social media or like I love like making out with a woman. I love
So
like
hot.
I love playing with a woman. I love being with a woman. I have dealt with really bad repercussions from women. With a man, I can spot it from a mile away when he is like, oh, I can tell he's trying to manipulate me or something. But with a woman, I get excuses of, oh, she doesn't mean it that way. Like, you know, I used to get comments, oh, like everyone wants your body, Jocelyn, but not me. I like being petite. I don't like, you know, looking how you look. I like being like this small. And so for me, I'd be like, oh, she doesn't mean it like that. She doesn't mean it like that. But then as soon as the things turn around, then it's, you know, oh, like you're a slut, you're fat, like just all these hurdles. I'm like, oh, actually, she did mean it that way. I was just internalizing it, being
You're
like,
trying to give her grace.
I was giving her grace.
Yes.
With a man, I would never do that. But with a woman, I have to sit there and wonder, like, and figure out, like,
Emotional
I
damage.
feel like a lot of women these days are playing games with men, with women, with each other. And for me, I'm like, be honest with me about anything. Like, I'm very communicative. I'm very honest, and I know what I want, but I think I don't really know what I want in women. But with men, I do. So.
Let's talk later. I'm going to help you with that.
Okay.
All right. So let's, I'm curious for you ladies who do OF, have you had any difficulty? Go ahead.
No.
No?
actually
No,
great.
it's all fun.
It's been great?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, going back to this earlier video, this is very off topic. Everyone was so serious. And I was like, wow, that video where saying how, you know, social media and like it's, you know, brain rotting or whatever he was talking about with like this image online. I was like thinking, oh man, I love watching porn with a man and
That's
getting
hot.
ideas.
That's hot.
So
It's
hot.
so hot. So
I'm like, oh, like, because I think because I use social media as like a business, I have been able to separate it. And so has, you know, the people I like to like be with. And so I actually utilize, I'm like, oh, like we should try this out. You know, I don't know. I've not had issues separating it. I think I did in the before when I was unhappy with myself. And now that like kind of being more like happier and like figuring out what works best for me works perfectly, because now I'm surrounded by people who I think love is love. And so, you know, whatever boundaries you set with your partner and it works, that's great. Like I would love to have a girlfriend.
All right.
About you. My sister still thinks about
I know,
you.
but women scare me. But you know, along with like
have a girlfriend, but women scare you.
oh yes. Anyway, but like having like that man on the side, because I do love a strong man presence, but I also want to be able to like, you know, have like he has like a boundary. If I like can't be with other women, then it doesn't work. But being
hate
with
that.
someone who would be okay with me being with other women,
What a
I
weirdo.
would be totally okay with. And I chat online and like being able to be like, hey, I'm doing this, and them not getting jealous or freaking out on me or thinking guilt shaming me because they know I'm doing this as a business. Would I actually in real life go out and do these things with him? No. But if I do see a fan in person, I'm also not going to be rude. But it's just like as if you were with a celebrity. I'm by no means a celebrity, but I'm not going to be mean to someone who's spending their time.
Oh, got it. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.